Yes, indeed. You guys have seen both of these players before, but now they must come to do battle together in the battlefield in a mirror matchup, spawning in the bottom right position of Belshir Vestige as our red Protoss player. Well, he just took out White Raw 2-1. Can he continue his tear through the WCS Europe Challenger League qualifier? It is Western Wolves Daisy. And spawning in the top left position as our green Protoss player from Cooler Master Storm. He has also gone quite a distance in the tournament, playing from South Africa. It is Pandatank.
I am so excited to be able to cast this game, man. Like, we have followed these guys through the bracket today, and if it were up to me, I would say that both of them deserve the spot in the Final Four. Like, I really would. But this is the round of 16 now. They have 2 more best of 3s to go, and their first challenge is to take each other out. So we already see a little bit of a difference in this game, Nathanius. We have Pandatank going for a bit of an earlier gateway.
Yeah, very interesting decision. In terms of ways that you can take advantage of an earlier gateway in PvP, typically speaking, in Wings of Liberty, it would have only been so you could get your warp gate out a tiny bit faster to go for a 4 gate, and that's why you go either 12 or 13 gate. 12, of course, just to get it out faster. But it's going to be a bit interesting to see how exactly he makes this pan out, the way that this game plays. He's shown that he likes to play aggressively. There's a lot of Chrono Boost saving up on this Nexus. If he doesn't Chrono Boost anything else out, and now that he's getting a Zealot, this could be a very aggressive play coming out of our Western Wolves Protoss.
Well, Daisy has been a fan of aggressive play so far. We've seen him have tremendous amounts of success with early game pushes. I wonder if that's exactly what we're going to be seeing here, following up that initial Zealot with a Stalker and constantly chrono boosting his Warp Gate now. Meanwhile, in the main base of Pandatank, already fully saturated on both of his gases, third pylon going down behind his mineral line.
Yeah, I mean, what Pandatank is doing is pretty standard. He's getting the sentry out. He is playing this pretty defensively, actually. No tech building is going to be able to go down yet for him, so I'm really curious what exactly he plans on doing. What Daisy's doing doesn't surprise me as much now. He has added on 2 gateways. I'm kind of expecting him to add on a fourth gateway at some point, but just because of the setup that he has. But it looks like he wants to go for basically just a big 3-gate pressure, and Pandatank is trying to expand behind this sentry. This is going to be so rough. His sentry's already taken some heat from the Zealot.
Oh, very, very close to dying there. The Mothership Core trying its best to defend. Oh, nice. The Probe's actually blocking the Zealot's access to the sentry. Will be able to successfully take it out, and Pandatank preserves his... manages to stay alive at the moment against this early pressure. The Stalker now being beaten back by the Mothership Core as well. A couple of probes being pulled, but with these 2 sentries as well, I think Pandatank is going to be having a bit of a stay of execution here. Daisy, on the other hand, has other plans because he has a base in his base.
Oh my goodness, that proxy pylon is going to make things so rough. That probe snuck in little ninja right there, and 3 stalkers roped in the main. This is going to be so hard to hold. Still 3 energy away from Photon Overcharge. If he kills his Mothership Core, that'd be absolutely huge. No, he does get the Photon Overcharge off. Oh goodness, Josar, that was way too close for comfort. The stalkers are not going to be able to dive in just yet, but with that pylon in the main still there, this is going to be very rough to stop even after the Photon Overcharge is gone.
This is a little bit tricky because Daisy has cemented his position inside the main base of Pandatank right now. He has units ready to pounce. He's up to 3 gateways inside his main base. Pandatank, in the meantime, also getting 3 warp gates now as well. That Photon Overcharge is helping him out an awful lot, but once it disappears, he needs to make sure he has the army supply required to defend against this. That's what the 4th gateway behind the mineral line is for. Is it going to be enough, though? Daisy now moving forward. Army supply for Daisy, 22 to 14 from Pandatank. He needs to buy a little bit more time, but pylon's getting taken out now. The first one will not supply block him, but he needs to make sure the second one still allows that gateway in front to be powered, and the gateway now being taken down.
Yeah, I mean, limiting the production at this point is going to be huge. At the same time, he has a Zealot just run straight into the mineral line, already cleaves apart 3 drones. That gateway is dead, and oh man, Pandatank is taking a lot of heat here. He's only got 3 warp gates now. He doesn't have that extra production that he wanted, and there's so many Stalkers here for Daisy. He's just got so much more range damage output. The probes have to be pulled for Pandatank. Jarsar, I don't know. Is he going to be able to get this with this probes around?
Oh, with this additional warp in of Stalkers, I think not. I think Pandatank might be going down here in game number 1. The Zealots are actually taking a lot of damage for Pandatank, and this is pretty close, but the Stalker count is still... was in favor of Daisy, but he was focusing down the probes until a second ago, and all of a sudden Pandatank is 5 Stalkers to 3. But you know what? I'm not 100% certain it's going to matter that much, because the worker count through all that is now 19 to 9 in Daisy's favor, Nathanius, and even with 2 Nexi, I think that Daisy can mount a big follow-up attack here.
Yeah, he can either just build up his forces, go for another attack. He's finally taking that second gas geyser, so he will be able to just get that additional tech up. And I feel like with the second Nexus, theoretically, Pandatank can chrono out a lot of probes and try to recover himself, but the amount of time it's going to take for him to get into a good position, the money he'll invest into probes, the next attack will already come from Daisy, and I'm really, really worried right now for Pandatank, especially with this 4th gateway being added in.
This is an interesting time of the game right now. Daisy is up 34 supply to 28, and his workers is still up 22 to 16. He's only on the 1 base, but he's been mining a lot more income for a very long time here. He'll have more units than Pandatank, and there'll be a slim window where Daisy might be able to mount a follow-up timing that could actually be quite disruptive. But if Daisy waits much longer than that, though, Pandatank will have enough probes on both of his bases to start overtaking Daisy economically. And that figuring out where that window is going to be the tricky problem now for Daisy. He wants to make sure that he absolutely wins with this follow-up attack. He's not looking to put down his next. He's up to 4 gateways now as well. And, well, this is it. It's all or nothing right now. The worker supply is still slightly in favor of Daisy, and his army supply is much larger as well. Can he do this?
It's looking pretty good for him. There's only a single sentry on the field for Pandatank right now. The Mothership Core is in position. He doesn't have enough energy for a Photon Overcharge, but at this point, with how many units Daisy has on the field, he may try to throw caution to the wind on that. I feel like Photon Overcharge will buy him some time, but the economic advantage was still there too long for Daisy in terms of how long he can just continue to put out units. So I feel like he should go there, trigger the Photon Overcharge as fast as possible, and then just retreat.
I think that's probably the best plan of action, to be perfectly honest. Photon Overcharge has gone down. He's actually focusing down Stalkers. He's really wanting to go forward with this, but the Zealots now getting some surface area on the Stalkers as well. More Stellads and Sentries coming in from behind from Daisy. Pandatank at the moment looking like he might be in a precarious position. He's down to 36 supply versus the 44 from Daisy. The Zealots and Stalkers are caught into a corner here, and Daisy is condemning these additional Stalkers despite the Photon Overcharge to death by firing squad, thanks to the positioning of those force fields. Has he taken, though, too much damage from the Photon Overcharge? These Zealots managing to get a good amount of damage done on these Stalkers, down to 24 supply now. Daisy on 40. Nathanius, this is looking pretty tense here, but I think Daisy might have a decisive edge.
Yeah, especially with the additional probes that he's killed in this scenario. He is just looking so good. Pandatank has no units. There's the GG, and game number 1 of this best of 3 is going to go to Daisy, and he's just displayed so much PvP dominance.